A very good morning to all of you. We welcome you to this webinar on the proposed syllabus 2023. We thought this webinar is very essential because we have to communicate to our stakeholders what is the objective of our syllabus and why we have introduced new papers and what is the logic of grouping of different papers at executive and professional level, and what students will learn from executive level, and what is the objective of papers at executive level, and what will be the objective of papers at professional level, and how the syllabus will complement with training requirements, and how the students will overall emerge as a successful company secretaries. So now I request our VP to give an introductory remark on the proposed syllabus and how the proposed syllabus will take the emerging generations to the expected level by the stakeholders. Thank you.
Thank you, Lakshmiji. At the outset, I would like to welcome each one of you for who have joined this webinar on the syllabus review. Let me share with you all that this exercise is being taken by the ICSI every 5 years. And last revision of syllabus was done in the year 2018. And this is due for revision in the year 2023. And we initiated this process when we have taken over as president and vice president. That was the biggest challenge was given to us by the council, that we have to revamp, we have to revise the entire syllabus for the new generation of ICSI. So we had started with this process in February, and we have constituted one academic committee or the board under the able leadership of Ranjit ji. And since then we are working hard. We have done rounds of discussion, rounds of deliberation, stakeholder meetings. Task force has also been created, wherein the industry experts, professors, learned faculties are also involved in the discussion. Our endeavor of having these revision in this syllabus, particularly to reduce the paper. Presently, we are having 16 papers. When we count executive as well as professional, we are presently having 16 papers, 17 papers rather, I could say. Now we are trying to reduce it to 14 papers. 7 would be in executive and 7 would be in professional going forward. And we are also trying, and our endeavor is to reduce the contents wherever the duplication is there, wherever the repetition of the contents is there, wherever the syllabus is being repeated more than twice, then we are trying to reduce those contents from each of those subjects where the contents are being repeated. Our focus at ICSI is to develop the skills of our students, to have the practical oriented approach, and we are looking for the specialization of our members, to be members. And let me share with you friends, going forward, this particular new syllabus would be introduced from 1st of February for the executive, 1st of February 2023, and first attempt would be in December 2023. And for professional, we would be rolling out the new syllabus from 1st of August. And the first attempt for new syllabus would be in the year June 24. And many efforts have been done, many meetings, discussions are being done. We already have one round of stakeholders discussions. Now this particular entire syllabus is given to the stakeholders for their comments and review. We have already received more than 2,000 comments, feedback, suggestions on the new syllabus. And today, this particular webinar is to deliberate on the suggestions we have received, and to discuss and provide you the thought process and intent of ICSE, why those new subjects have been introduced, why the particular topic is being kept, why any such topic is being removed from the course. So this particular syllabus is future oriented. I am sure the students are going to be benefited out of the new syllabus. I would like to compliment the entire team of academics under the able leadership of Alka Kapoor and Lakshmi Madam, those who have given their full support for the revision and designing of the syllabus, and the academic board, which is being chaired by Ranjit Pandey ji, past president ICSI. They have put lot efforts in designing this syllabus for the ICSI, and I am sure you people must be finding this very healthy and very encouraging, and we have received many appreciation for the new syllabus. With this opening remarks, I would like to thank once again the entire team of academics and Ranjit Pandey for giving me this opportunity and for designing the wonderful syllabus for the ICSI. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir.
Over to you, Lakshmi.
Thank you very much, sir. Now I would like to request our Chairman, Academic Committee and past President C.S. Ranjit Pandey, sir, who is a major, who drove us, all the internal teams, stakeholders, and then who is instrumental for this proposed syllabus after consulting and after exercising several levels and several steps of stakeholder consultation and industry consultation and syllabus review task force. And now I request C.S. Ranjit Pandey to deliver the proposed syllabus, the thought process, and the expected outcome, and what will derive out of the proposed syllabus, and to invite suggestions.
Thank you so much, Lakshmi. First of all, welcome you all the stakeholders. We are calling stakeholders. Normally, we call and address like dear professional colleagues or dear students, but there are a lot of stakeholders when it comes to syllabus. So welcome all the stakeholders here in this particular webinar, where we are going to discuss the syllabus, and it is organized on a very urgent basis on the request of all the stakeholders that yes, some clarity should be given in the proposed syllabus, because it is just a report where we are going to roll out the syllabus and what highlight of the syllabus has been provided in the detailed report. But nitty-gritties and what is the thought process behind each and everything, that has to be narrated. So taking a clue from there, this particular webinar is being organized, and President has advised us to organize it on an immediate basis. President will also, we have requested President also to join this webinar, and he will be joining maybe in hours time. Till that time, I will take you through the whole webinar, and I will be whole syllabus, and I'll be taking some questions which we have received in the chat box. Also, more than 50 questions we have already received from. Those questions are very repetitive in nature, but we'll try to address each and every question received through the chat box. And some of the general questions we have faced during the academic committee meeting, also during the Training and Education Facility Committee led by Mr. Manish Gupta. There also this syllabus, draft syllabus has been approved, and our learned council members has also raised certain queries and questions while approving it. Detailed deliberation and discussion has happened. So how we have started? We have started with the 360-degree approach, backed by the feedback from all the stakeholders. So we have created a Google form, and on the basis of that particular Google form, we have received more than 1,500 questions and suggestions from the stakeholders. And on the basis of those questions, we have started deliberating those thought process into the say detail by the academics team. Academics team thereafter has framed the draft syllabus, and after framing that particular draft syllabus, it has gone first to the academic committee. Academic committee in first meeting, we have deliberated it in detail, and thereafter we have assigned the task to all the committee members who are also council members. Some of the council member has been assigned that what should be the mode of examination. Some of the council member has been assigned that what should be the scheme of papers, which paper should go into which module, and dedicated academic teams, concerned subject officer, along with related say experts in the academic departments. So we have constituted a team of 4 or 5 people, led by one of the council member who is the academic committee member also. They have deliberated the content, they have deliberated the say module, what should be removed, what should be added, what should be deleted, and thereafter that exercise has been completed. I'm thankful to all the 5 council members, Nagendra Rao ji, Narasimhan ji, Vineet Chaudhary ji, Sandeep Kejriwal ji. So all have say contributed, and very special contribution has been done by our past president Ashish Garg ji, and one more name I will say, our government nominee Dr. Madhu Vij brings a lot of academic input from in the syllabus. Virtually, she has designed 2.5 papers also for us, because her experience from the Faculty of Management Study, Delhi University, is very handy. So she has also contributed a lot during the academic committee meeting. So after that particular exercise, academic committee has approved. Academic committee has given this particular draft to the task force specifically constituted for this purpose. Task force was led by Vice Chancellor NLU, National Law University, and a lot of professionals from the industry and very known faces, known company secretaries who are always there in our webinars and seminars, experts. They were there, and industry leaders were also there, professionals were there. So they have deliberated the syllabus for whole day, and thereafter they have also given the input. Then we have done one meeting of all the academic officers and company secretaries working in the institute also. They have also given the entire input, and on the basis of their input also, we have modified the syllabus a bit. So all the inputs has been discussed finally in the academic committee. We have considered all the suggestions from the officials of the institute, from the task force also, from the core group, small core group constituted also, and Google form, whatever suggestion we have received. So after doing that exercise, we have recommended and submitted our report to the Training and Education Facility Committee and to the council. TEFC has also discussed. After discussion with the TEFC, it has went to the council, and council, after detailed deliberation, has approved the draft syllabus. So this is one of the thing we have done, that earlier it was like draft syllabus was directly, say, before public consultation, it was not going to the council. We have taken it to the council, and then final syllabus will also go with this all 4 stages: academic committee, then task force, then TEFC, and then council. So I'll request all of you to kindly come forward, go through the detailed syllabus. Whatever questions are coming in your mind, you can write to us. We will give you the feedback also. But after going through, you give the critical input or whatever suggestion you can provide. We are here to improve it. If something is missing, or something is bulky, or something is very, very heavy for the students, or something is missing which company secretary is required to do, we are wholeheartedly going to accept those suggestions, those feedbacks, whatever will be coming from the stakeholders. But yes, we will not be carried away that number of suggestions has been there for one particular thing. Like I will give you one example. There is a suggestion that GST should be the compulsory paper of 100 marks at the professional level. We have deliberated this particular point so many times at all 4 stages. And in fact, council was of the view that GST 40 marks in the intermediate level, and thereafter 100 marks, even though elective at the professional level, 140 is overdose. And many of the council members were having the view that 140 is overdose. But what we feel, that lot of company secretary in practice, particularly in the far-flung areas and small cities and towns, are serving the proprietorship, partnership, association of person, and small entities where they are just providing good consultancy in the GST. So GST should be there, and it should be 100 marks, complete and detailed study should be there. But at the same time, we feel that why everybody and anybody should study GST? For knowledge purpose, for indirect tax knowledge purpose, 40 marks GST is there in the executive program. But we don't want to burden everyone, that whether you have the choice or whether you have want to practice GST or not, you should study GST at the final level for 100 marks. So we have taken a conscious call that it will be elective paper only, and whosoever want, I don't mind 70% of the students taking GST as a option. So option is available to all. Anybody who want to study, they can take. So making it mandatory and non-mandatory, it will not say make any difference. So this kind of deliberation has happened in the council meeting. So let me take you through the whole syllabus. And while designing the syllabus, what we have done, we have taken one thing into mind, that we don't want to say make very drastic changes, because last syllabus was also have been done with a lot of exercise. Great efforts has been done. I was also part of the syllabus making exercise, so I can say firmly that even last time during the 2017 syllabus making, a lot of effort has been done and a lot of consultation has been done. So it has been made a very good syllabus. But 5 years, what changes are required to be done, what become obsolete, what become, say, what new has came, where redesigning and re-engineering is required, where content has become too heavy, where content has become, say, very light, or what is become irrelevant for the students, that we have considered, deliberated and discussed, and then tried to change some of the nomenclatures, try to introduce some of the papers. Then we have done the grouping and regrouping also. We have say categorize the paper into law, strategy and practice. So this is also one exercise we have done. We have tried to reduce the repetition of the syllabus or content in all 14 papers. We have tried, we are still trying, we will be doing this exercise till the time of finalization of the syllabus. We don't want repetition also. In order to avoid repetition, what we have done, we have given the task to the academic department that cross-referencing should be done. I am giving you an example. Say, for example, takeover is important for the corporate restructuring paper also. Takeover is important for the security law also. And some point of time, takeover is, say, important for some strategy paper also. So what we will do, we will keep it in the corporate restructuring because it is more important for the corporate restructuring. So we'll keep it in the corporate restructuring, cross-referencing. Say, for example, regulation of the takeover can be there in the security law, but strategy part for the purpose of restructuring should be there in the corporate restructuring paper. So we are trying to, say, analyze the whole thing and trying to place it at the appropriate places so that duplicity or repetition of the rules, regulations, bylaws, guidelines should be avoided. And we seek your feedback on this particular part more than anything else, that content should be light, content should be not heavy at all. National education policy also we have considered, and it is primarily talking about a few things, and it is saying that higher and professional institute, the syllabus should be have been conceptualization with the intent of making the entire course curriculum more skill-based learning, experiential learning, and multidisciplinary approach. So we are following all three and focused on the technology integration. That is why we have introduced one technology related paper also. And last but not least, it's saying that reduction of content. So what we have done, we have reduced 3 papers. We are proposing to reduce 3 papers. Earlier we were having 17, 8 plus 9, 8 at executive level, 9 at professional level. But what we are doing, 7 at executive level and 7 at professional level, with in 7, 2 are elective at the professional level. So total 14 papers. So that means immediately we have reduced the content by 3 papers. And thereafter, we have also done one exercise, which is efforts to minimize the duplicity, effort to minimize the, say, repetition in the across the papers. So that will also further reduce the content. What happens actually, during the, say, paper setting exercise, if something is there in the syllabus, and if it is just for the reference purpose only, that for the common understanding the student or making the flow of the students, that if say one subject they are reading and they have read in the intermediate level or module 1 or module 2 of the intermediate level, and if it is required to be referred in the final level, we are giving in the study material only for the, say, reference purpose. But while setting the paper or choosing the question papers, they ask full-fledged question from that, which is not the intent. So we are trying to give the good guidance also for the paper setters and examiners, so that only paper overall theme of the paper should be understood before asking the questions also. That particular exercise also academic committee is going to do. So that exercise has been done. Then selection of elective has been done with a lot of intense exercise, and at least 8 elective we have suggested. But we are not saying that you cannot suggest the more electives. I invite suggestions from you that which elective should be there, which elective should be deleted, and which new elective can be added. Elective purpose of elective is basically have the specialization in particular field. Just as I have told you that GST is specialization for few, not for all. So it is coming in elective. Similarly, arbitration can be say a specialization or choice area for one, or maybe 100 or 200, but not for all. So this is again going to the GST, again going to elective. So this kind of exercise, labor and industrial law, can be expertise for few of the company secretary, but not for the all. Again, it is going into the elective. So this way we have intent is that to create the specialization, not to burden each and every one. Those who don't want to study, they will have the choice to choose other paper. Somebody may choose mediation and arbitration, somebody may choose GST, somebody may choose labor law, but 2 has to be chosen, and 1 at the module 1 and 2 second one at the module 2 of the professional program. So this is what the intent. Determination of the weightage of the marks has also been assigned. What we are trying to do, that each and every subject, each and every part will be having the, say, assigned weightage of marks that will be communicated, and that will be fixed well in advance. Mode of conducting examination also, we are deciding whether we will go on the MCQ, whether we will be going on OMR MCQ, whether we will be going on the descriptive paper. So what we have decided, that in the elective executive program, complete syllabus or all the papers will be descriptive, and coupled with some of the paper might have some MCQ, but it will not be OMR based MCQ. It will be case law based MCQ. If I'm saying case law based MCQ, that means one, say, case will be asked or facts will be given to you or given to the students, and on the basis of that fact or maybe decided case law, 5 questions in the form of MCQ will be asked, and you will have to answer. So this will also be a very practical and skill oriented approach of analyzing the law and then giving the problem, solving the problem. So this is the intent of giving the MCQ. So it will be 80-20 80% descriptive, 20% MCQ in some of the paper. So let me now take you through the whole flavor and scheme of the paper. So coming on to the first module, first program, executive program. First paper is Jurisprudence, Interpretation and General Law. And here we have given the 100 marks. So jurisprudence, you are all aware that that is the basis of law. We want to teach the students, and since the start of the CS course, this jurisprudence and sources of law, interpretation of statute is there in our syllabus, and it should not and never be disturbed. So we are keeping it intact. Jurisprudence will be there. Interpretation of the statute will be there. Sources of law, what kind of law is there, what is the customary law, what is the, say, legislations, what is the say bylaws, all these will be there in this particular paper. General law, we have tried to reduce some of the law, and in fact, I can give you the examples. Many law was there which was not relevant for the company secretary, so we have cutted it off all, and those who which are required to be there, like say Transfer of Properties Act. There is no need to have the say entire study of Transfer of Property Act. So we basic principles like doctrine of lease pendants or these kind of things, we have kept it intact. We are not trying to teach everything in relating to. So 4 or 5 principles of the say Transfer of Properties Act will be there in the syllabus. So at least 7 or 8 legislation we have cut it off. 2 or 3 we have brought in new. So more or less, if I'll talk about the content heaviness of the paper, it will remain the same. We have tried to reduce, but we have included also some. So it will be as good as old, but content wise, but lot of new thing will also be there, and lot of obsolete thing will be deleted from the general law part. So that is one. Second one is company law and practice. So first part is the company law practice, and second part is company administration and meeting. So we have tried to bifurcate. First part will be say share capital, prospectus, debentures, definition part, and all conceptual part in regard to the say limited liability, perpetual succession, related case laws. All these things will be there. One suggestion has came that in the company law paper, drafting aspect should be more. So we'll try to have the say one of the feedback I have got yesterday itself, that drafting of resolution is one thing we are missing badly. So drafting of resolution more in our current syllabus study module, not more than 8-9 board or general meeting resolutions are there. So we'll try to include more and more so that drafting aspect should be taken care as far as company resolutions are concerned. Although it requires practice, module can give the references only, but we will try to have the references, and we will try to tell the students in the study material itself that you need to practice more and more. You need to have the say practice of more and more drafting of resolutions. Company administration and meeting, this is basically board meeting, board directors, company meetings, related party transaction, and also chapter 11, 12 and 13 of the Companies Act mainly will be coming here. So chapter 11 like directors, then meetings, and then company administration. So all will be coming from the Companies Act. Third is corporate accounting and financial management. Here we are going to teach about the detailed accounting, that how to prepare, what is accounts, how to prepare, what is accounting standard, what is accounting principles, how to prepare the accounts. So entire thing will be there in the 60 marks. And then financial management. So financial management, you are all aware that it is always part of the syllabus. So we have tried to club it here. Earlier it was part of the some other paper, strategic and financial management, I believe. So it has cut it off from there, and it has came to the corporate accounting part. Some of the decision making related issues like in the cost accounting, those principles will also be part of it, so that financial management should become the complete paper. Fourth is capital market and security law. You must be wondering that why we have just changed and say sequence, like earlier it was security law and capital market. So in the discussion in the academic committee, what we felt that first students should understand the capital market, what is capital market, and what the money market, what is the intermediaries of the capital market, and all the things. Then we should try and understand how to regulate them. So security law is basically for the purpose of regulation. SEBI Act and SCRA can be part of the capital market itself, but rest of the regulations, rest of all the regulations relating to say regulating the security capital market will be in the security law. So we thought it appropriate to have this particular sequence. If you feel that this sequence is not right, security law should be there and capital market should be second part, then you give the suggestion with the reasoning why it should be there. Fifth, economic and commercial and intellectual property law. Intellectual property law we have say included specifically into it. Why intellectual property law has been specifically included? Because a lot of company secretaries are practicing into this particular area, and specialization is required, and for the purpose of specialization we have come out with the elective paper also. But basic knowledge of IPR, because company secretary is one who can be repository of the IPR in the company also, who can be say person who is applying and getting the protection of the intellectual property right also. So he should be aware about the say creation, then protection and repository, all three. And fourth one is, if some litigation is happening, then company secretary in employment should be able to take up it as a litigation also, and at least able to brief the attorneys and lawyers who are going to appear and defend the right of the company. So this is also one thing which we have brought in new. It was earlier only part of some say general law or say general law, but it has been carved out. We want to give the message to the industry that yes, in our paper specifically 14 marks intellectual property law we are teaching to the students. Economic and commercial law, again it has been revamped completely, and lot of things we have removed, lot of repetition we have removed. We have done the sequencing also right. So this is what we have done in the economic and labor law. Tax law and practice, direct tax 50 marks and indirect tax 50 marks. In the indirect tax, other indirect taxes will be also there, but focus primarily will be on GST, and small focus will be on the customs. Rest of the levy, only concept or constitutional obligation of the state and central in regard to the say indirect taxation will be there. So conceptual understanding will be there in regard to indirect taxes, but primarily will be focusing on the GST and customs. Then setting up business and industrial and labor law. This seventh paper, lot of say questions and concern has came that setting up business intermediate में पढ़ा रहे हैं, पहले भी पढ़ाते थे, but why industrial and labor law has been merged to it, and why it has came here. I'll give you 2-3 thoughts into it. One is setting up business and closure of entity was earlier there. In order to avoid the repetition and duplication in regard to the closure of business, we don't want a student to learn the closure at the executive level. Let's close it at the final level. Let's start teaching the students how to set up and start the business first. So closure part, we have taken it out from here and bring it to the corporate restructuring. So completely closure part will not be here now. So since we have removed the closure part, the paper become bit light. So we thought what could be the best thing for the setting of business itself. So there was a lot of things in regard to initial registration and licenses. And those initial and registration and licenses somewhere or other leading to the industrial and labor laws. Like you have to register yourself from the say under factory. If you are setting the plant, factory. If you are setting the shops and establishment, then you need to hire the contractual labor, labor Evolution and Regulation Act. Then if you want to say do some say hiring of the say child labor or all other thing. So related thing was there. Say the moment you start the business, you do some initial registration and licensing. Then you hire the people. If you hire the people, again compliances are required to be done. So best fitted paper was that setting up business and industrial and labor law. So you in any case we have to give something relating to setting up business, that how to have the initial registration licenses, and then taking permission from the labor department, taking permission of for the factory licenses and all. So these were in any case coming on the setting of business paper, but very small portion of it. We tried to carve it out in the part 2 of this particular paper and make it industrial and labor law complete. So this is what we have done in this paper. As far as setting up business is concerned, one more concern is coming, that why it is part of the module 2, why it should not be part of the module 1. I have taken and noted down this particular suggestion, and in fact I found some merit into this suggestion. I'll try to bring that thought to the academic committee again, and again to the council, that why it should be shifted back to the module 1 or group 1. It makes lot of logic that when we are teaching company law in group 1, then this particular paper should also go to the group 1 itself. So setting up business might shift to, of course, subject to approval of the respective committee and council, might shift into the group 1. So this particular suggestion, we have received a lot of suggestion on this. We can take it, and we found the good merit into it. And another thing, concern has been raised yesterday itself by some of the professionals, that group 2 is become very heavy because of the tax law and practice and capital market and security law paper, and economic, commercial and intellectual property law is also a very heavy paper. So all 4 papers are becoming heavy, and a lot of those is there. So it is better to shift it on the group 1. So we'll consider it, and we will try and shift it to the group 1 so that both the group can be balanced. So this is all about the executive program. Coming on to the professional program. In the professional program, at the beginning, I will say one concern has been raised by many and everyone. In fact, some of our elected representative and regional council member and some of the central council members also, even committee members have raised this particular issue initially, that why advanced company law is not there in this particular module. We are expert of company law, and since we are expert of the company law, so in our days, in fact, 10-15 years back, there was CLP1, CLP2, CLP3, and SMA. So 4 papers, 3 papers were company law, and CLP3 was basically economic law, FEMA and all. So this kind of thing was there. So why advanced company law is not there? I remember this particular exercise has been done in the 2017 itself. And at that point of time itself, we have removed the company law paper from there. But believe me, we have not removed the company law. We have not removed advanced company law. The only thing is that chapter wise or section wise reading of the company law at final level, we are discouraging. What we want our students, and in fact, all the teaching fraternities or all the professionals involved into it should understand that what is the professional program. Professional program is skill based. Professional program is basically problem solving attitude. Professional program is basically applying the law which we have read in the executive level to the real life or real problem at the final level. Service and delivery related paper should be there. And you can see all 5 papers at the professional level. It is one or other service performed by the company secretary. We don't want to teach the law simpliciter. We want to teach the students how to apply the law in the given situation. This is the intent of the final paper. This is the intent of the professional program. Application of the law in the practical situation. And that is why, if you see, first thing, ESG is a big opportunity. Big opportunity, and the way ESG is coming up, be it say framing of ESG strategy, framing of ESG policy, changing the mindset of the company, government, and also the board members and all the stakeholders. Everything happening is a very rapid pace and speed. And since it is happening with the speed, we also need to catch it up. We also need to say go into it. And in fact, BARSR reporting has been made mandatory to some of the companies, listed companies. It will be mandatory in times to come to all the listed companies, and it may go up to the say unlisted companies also. And in fact, voluntarily, many of the company will start say reporting it, because ESG investing is also coming a concept. ESG funds are also coming as a concept. So there are a lot of things which is happening in the ESG. In fact, way of doing business is changing because of ESG. So we thought it appropriate to have the ESG paper. But in ESG paper itself, environment, social and governance. So environmental law, which we were teaching there, we said, why don't we integrate it with the ESG paper itself, and some of the environmental law flair can be given here. Number one. Number two, social. Of course, CSR and all other social initiative of the government and of the corporate can be here. How to socially say support the society by the corporates, that is also there in this paper. And as far as governance part is concerned, company secretaries are torch bearer of the governance. Company secretaries are governance professionals, and companies our vision is also to be the global leader in corporate governance. So aligning with the vision, governance has been kept as a say major chunk of it, and it is 65 marks, governance and sustainability. So governance with the sustainability is the main highlight of this paper. Of course, risk management is 20 marks and environment and sustainability reporting is only 15 marks. But coming on to that particular point, that where we are teaching the company law in the final, this governance is nothing but the some set of rules mentioned and written in the Companies Act itself. Like say, for example, board governance, secretarial standard, best practices, best policy followed by the company, all the policies framed by the company, mandatory policy, non-mandatory policy. So these advanced knowledge will be given here, and we will try to have the some flair of law, some flair of governance, and mixture of it into it. So this is what ESG paper is. Second paper, again I'm saying, it is again a delivery of service to the corporate by the practicing company secretary and also employee company secretary. If you say that drafting is one thing. So drafting is required to be done by everybody, be it company secretary in employment, be it company secretary in practice. One concern has came that in the drafting paper, we are having too much focus on the commercial drafting and commercial contracts and agreements. And we don't focus on the company law. We will try to have the say blend of both. We'll try to have the company law drafting also, petition drafting also, appeal, reply, rejoinder drafting also. So it will be covering all the NCLT drafting. It will be covering all the commercial contracts and agreement, deed writing, opinion writing. All these things will be covered in this particular drafting paper. In the pleading part, we will be teaching mainly on the NCLT rules and all other rules which is required for the members to or students to prepare the document for the purpose of appearance. So pleading part will be there, and then appearance part will be very small portion of it, which will be telling the students that what is the various authorities available for the appearance and how to appear before them, what is the art of appearance. So this is again absolutely application and delivery based paper, which is going to say give the say employability to the company secretary and say practicing company secretaries also. Third one is compliance management, audit and diligence. This paper again will have the flair of law also. Like whenever you are going to manage the compliances, some of the say legal portion is required to be done. So compliance management, audit and due diligence. Audit related laws, whatever is there in the Companies Act, will be part of it, beginning of it, and thereafter we will go for the auditing principles, auditing practices, auditing standards, auditing techniques, what techniques you should be using in audit, what principle you should be following during the course of audit. And we don't want only to secretarial concentrate on the secretarial audit, although major portion will be secretarial audit, but we want to teach students that there are other audits also which company secretary can do and they are already doing. So this is complete paper in regard to compliance management, audit, and due diligence. In the due diligence portion, legal and financial diligence will be the focus. Now, group 2, strategic management and corporate finance. Initially, we thought of having this paper as, and in fact, initial proposal of the academic committee was corporate funding. And in fact, last time this paper was corporate funding and some other nomenclature was there. Project. So we coined it as corporate funding and project finance. We wanted to teach some project finance angle of it. But later on, suggestion came from the academic committee members that why you are not teaching strategy, because strategy was not part of the paper, and company secretary, becoming company secretary without strategic management or strategy should not be there. So with the suggestion of the academic committee members, we have introduced the strategy management, and corporate funding has become corporate finance. So it is a broader terminology. So all the issue, capital related funding, debt related funding, debt financing, capital financing, project financing, all will be part of it. So it's again a complete business paper where students or members who are coming into, say, becoming company secretary and coming into the corporate world, they will be able to have the project financing, flair of project financing. They will have the, say, some flair of strategic management also. Then coming on to the, say, last main paper is corporate restructuring, valuation, and insolvency. Corporate restructuring is the, say, major chunk, 40%. Then valuation, small portion of it, 20%. And then insolvency, liquidation, and binding up. So closer part, whatever was there in the setting of business, has came into this part, and it has 40 marks. So these all 5 papers are application based, delivery based to the corporate, and it is not company law simpliciter. But let me tell you, in each and every paper, some portion of advanced company law will be there. So we don't want to put advanced company law as a paper here. We want to teach students that how to apply the company law into the various situations wherever it is needed. We can include, if some suggestion comes that you have 8 papers into it, and you include some other application also which is very relevant, or other delivery to the corporate which is very relevant for the company secretary, we can include the paper, but not advanced company law. Advanced company law, teaching the law simpliciter will be done in the executive level, not at the professional level. Here, only application of law will be there. Coming on to the elective part, first elective is CSR and social governance. Social stock exchange and all other new concepts are coming, and CSR is coming in a big way. So that is why CSR and social governance paper has been infused. Here, society, trust, NGO. So all NGO management will be, say, NGO management and NGO related governance will be there in this particular paper, and complete detail of the CSR, be it implementation agency, be it impact assessment, be it policy drafting, be it implementation, how to conduct the impact assessment. All these things will be there. How social stock exchange work, how say you should say prepare yourself for the social stock exchanges, and all things related to social governance. All these will be there in this paper. Paper number 2 is the goods and service tax. I have already detailed why it is there. Intellectual property law, again, why it is there, I have already explained. 4th paper is artificial intelligence, data analytics, and cyber laws. This is again a need of the hour. The way we are using the technology, the way we are using the data, and everything is become data based. So cyber security law or data protection law, which is going to be the reality very soon, has to be there in the syllabus. Though it should not be mandatory. Those who want to read, they can. Those who want to become expert, they can choose it. So that is why it is an elective paper: artificial intelligence, data analytics, and cyber law. Then arbitration, mediation, and conciliation. No need to explain how important this concept is becoming with the introduction of the mediation and conciliation bill in the parliament. and setting up the arbitration center. And in fact, our President Devendra Deshpande ji, in the last council meeting itself, has got a resolution passed to set up the arbitral center across India. So in all our most of our chapter offices and regional offices, or even in the headquarter, we are trying to say bring the setup to create the arbitration center in each and every place. We have had a meeting with the Ministry of Law and Secretary Law also in regard to this setting up our arbitration center, and they have also motivated us to do a lot in the arbitration field. Then labor law and practice, labor code are coming. Four labor codes are coming, and this is going to be reality very soon. So as of now, whatever labor laws are there, industrial law is there, that will come into this particular paper. But at the same time, the moment these codes will be notified, it will become part of the syllabus. We will not revise the syllabus. It will automatically be replaced by the existing law with the new law. So we are not going to change the nomenclature. We have kept the nomenclature in such a manner that it should accommodate the upcoming labor code. Banking and insurance. Earlier, it was two separate paper, banking law and insurance law. We said that most of the principles are same. Most of the regulations are also having the similar principles. I will not saying same hota hai, but it will have the similar application, similar principle in the non-banking financial sector, banking sector, or insurance sector. Of course, the insurance sector risk management is the bigger factor. So banking and insurance law has been clubbed into one paper itself, 50 marks each. So those who are picking up, they should become expert in the both the fields. That is what the intent is, so that they should not be say required to pick two papers. Instead of picking two, they should pick one, and one paper will make the expert of two different fields. Last but not least, internal and forensic audit. Again, internal audit under section 138 is any person is authorized to conduct the internal audit to build the capacity of the students and members in the field of internal audit, and also take up the new and upcoming area forensic audit. We have thought it appropriate to club these concepts in the 60 marks and 40 marks, and bring this particular thing as an elective paper, because everybody and anybody may not be interested in this. So this is the paper. So this is the total scheme of papers which is there for the students. Lastly, in this we have given the weightage also in the scheme of paper also itself, and if you can see the say last part of the report, which is coming on the page number 33, that it is proposed to introduce combination of both 20% case-based MCQ, non-OMR, and 80% descriptive-based examination in all papers of executive level, except corporate accounting and financial management, which is proposed to be 100% descriptive. So this is what we have thought, that say weightage of paper and mode of examination will be descriptive in the executive, 80% descriptive, 20% case-based MCQ, and for corporate accounting and financial management paper, it will be 100% descriptive. Mandatory paper and elective paper are at professional level is proposed to be conducted on the descriptive mode, and open book examination will be there for all the elective papers. So whatever elective paper you are going to choose, that will be open book examination. So you can bring your book, because we feel that company secretary sitting in the office have access to all the books. Problem comes to them, and they need to resolve the problem, solve the problem. So these elective papers will be like that only, that you have access of all the books, read the book and give the solutions. So there is no need to remember the law as such. You have to provide the solution. some of the general questions which have been asked, what steps were taken and process followed in drafting the syllabus, that we have already answered. What is why advanced company law is not at the professional level? This question I have addressed. Why artificial intelligence, data analytics, and cyber law and practice paper introduced in the proposed syllabus 2023? Then I have explained it. Which are the new elective papers introduced? Reason for their above. Again, I have answered this question. Why there is a reduction of papers from 17 to 14? Our new education policy says that content should not be heavy. It should be skill based. It should be practical approach. It should be, say, problem solving approach. So that, keeping that intent in mind, we are reducing the content. We have reduced the papers. Why have we chosen to not go with the current mode of examination? OMR based examination, we feel that it is becoming too easy. 100% MCQ is also become too easy for the students. We want students to study more in depth before say going for the examination. So level of examination should be such that it should be testing the skill of the students, what they have studied in the curriculum. I will say that say you pick and choose and study and pass. That should not happen. You should have the thorough command in the each and every, say, lesson, each and every paper, and you can make out your own notes and read from the notes, but you cannot say that only suggested answer or only guidelines answer I am reading and I am able to pass the examination. That should not be the case, and that intent will be discouraged, so that students should be go deep into the study, read the WhereX, wherever whatever reference book has been mentioned in the material, study materials or modules. So intent is and purpose is that in-depth study should be done by the students for each and every law given into it. Content should not be heavy, but study should be more and more depth. Whatever you are going to study, it should be studied in depth only. Then question came is, what is the need of introducing the open book examination? I have already explained. Why advanced tax law and GST deleted from the professional program? Again answered. Why two electives are introduced? Answered. Why we don't want say only one elective. Gradually we want to move for more and more elective papers. So initially we have introduced one. Now we have make it two. So let's see whether it works or not. But we are confident that it will work and it will improve the capability of the students to solve the problems. Why MCS deleted from the professional program? I have already explained that what is the reason. Why, how practice and employment aspect is based balanced in the syllabus? See, syllabus has not been prepared that somebody will go into the practice or somebody will go into the employment. It is for all. It is for all. And if we go through the syllabus, executive program is relevant for all the company secretary, whether you go into the employment, whether you go into the practice. What is not relevant? Jurisprudence is relevant, company law is relevant, corporate accounting and financial management is relevant, capital market. It may be possible that corporate accounting portion may not be relevant for the practicing company secretary, but it is just a thought. When we are going to do the secretarial audit, we go and study the balance sheet. And unless and until we know the accounts or accounting standard, how we will be able to judge that whether related party transaction has been done as per the accounting standard or not. So I think even practicing company secretary, while doing audit or while giving some advisory, they need to have the basic knowledge of accounting and financial management also. Similarly, capital and security market is for both. Economic and commercial law, intellectual property is for both. Tax law and practice is for both. Setting a business, everybody want to setting in company, you can incorporate your subsidiary. Then industrial and labor law is also there for them. So Then in the professional program also, all I have told you that it is application based paper. You are going to do the say practice in corporate restructuring. Then also you can go. Then in say for example strategic management and corporate finance. This is also relevant for all the professionals. So what I am trying to say that in the syllabus, it is nowhere, I will say with full confidence that nowhere it is there in the mind that somebody is in practice and somebody is employment. Company secretary is a company secretary. Today you may be in employment, you might go into the practice tomorrow. Today you are starting with the practice, you can go into the employment tomorrow. So study should not be say making the different kind of company secretary. Company secretary is company secretary, and they are capable of going into the practice and employment whatever they feel. So this is what the answer of this particular question. Some of the questions have been say received on the chat box also. I have tried to answer. So Lakshmi will say ask those questions, and I may clarify. Yes.
Sir, there is one question. Student, I don't know, it's from the student. When this new syllabus will be applicable? So it's little bothersome. So when this will be get implemented? Executive and
Okay. So this has already been given that for February 2023 we are going to say make it effective. So any examination thereafter will be say done in the new syllabus for the executive program, and for the professional program I think it is 1st of September August. So 1st of August is the date which will be say professional program will be made effective. So it is not like that all the entire syllabus will be made effective at one go. First we will make executive program effective, and then professional program will come into effect.
so again, it's a query from the student. I hope you will bring out the complete exemption scheme also. Since I'm registered in 2017 syllabus at executive level, so exemption scheme when it will get introduced.
See, on this particular aspect, academic committee or council has not deliberated yet. But yes, this always comes with the syllabus that whenever new syllabus is introduced, scheme of exemptions generally comes, because it may be possible that you have passed one module of the old syllabus 2017 and you are coming into the new syllabus. So reciprocal exemption scheme will definitely be coming and will be rolling out before launch of the syllabus well in advance, so that the student should not face any problem. And number of attempts in the old syllabus will also be given. But at the beginning of itself, I will say would like to change the mindset of the students, that my appeal will be to shift completely on the first given opportunity itself. Don't be enticed, don't be carried away with the thought that I have studied the old syllabus and I should pass the examination in old syllabus itself. There are two reasons for it. One reason is it is not possible. Exam is exam. It may be possible that you may clear in the new syllabus, you may not be able to clear in the old syllabus itself. So it is possible, depending. It is never like that you have already studied, so you will be able to clear. Better would be that shift yourself and study in the new syllabus. First reason is this. Second reason is that new syllabus is current. New syllabus is giving you the current perspective, what is happening in the like ESG will not be there in the old syllabus. And if you come out after passing the examination, industry may ask you whether you know about ESG. You will say no, I don't know, or I have not studied in my paper because in my syllabus it was not there. It will be a big disadvantage to you as compared to the person who are passing in the new syllabus. So it is always better for the students to shift and study the new. and it may take one more attempt. I'm saying, I'm very blunt in saying that. It may take one more attempt. It may take your 6 months more. But the kind of company secretary you will be becoming will be more current, more relevant, rather than the absolute. Because you think this way that old syllabus has started 2017. So 5 years has already gone. Then 3 attempts, for example, it has been given by the council to you. So 1.5 years more gone. But that means by the time you are passing, it is 6.5 years old syllabus. So today world is changing with a very rapid speed. So it is maybe possible that that particular thing might have become obsolete. So my appeal will be there to the students that shift to the new syllabus, and then whenever switchover scheme will be coming, you shift and then claim exemption and give that particular paper.
Thank you, sir. Sir, is there any chance to have MCQs based papers at professional level, since many professional institutes have MCQ papers in their curriculum?
I agree that there are, many institutes, professional institutes, who are conducting examination on the basis of MCQ itself. But we are not, thinking about 100% MCQ. It should be combination, because a lot of different aspects. Our profession is different from the all other, professions. So since our profession is different, that other professions are different, we want to play with our own strength. We want to go what is required for the students, and we feel that descriptive is be more appropriate for our students than the MCQ. Even if MCQ is there, that MCQ should be case-based, fact-based, and problem-solving MCQs. It should not be that one-liner answer or one-liner question. It should not be there. So we are not in a frame of mind to introduce 100% MCQ at professional level. Another point I can share on this is that those professional courses where this particular examination is conducted, there are advanced and high level courses where number of students appearing for the examination is much lower than as compared to the company secretary examination. And MCQ related or online related papers requires a lot of proctor and lot of monitoring. Those kind of monitoring can be done in the very small setup or a small number of students. But when it comes to large number of students, we don't want to let it to go. If we'll do with the 100% monitoring, that people who are doing mischief should be caught immediately. So as of now, council has taken a call that it will be 80%, 20% or 100% descriptive only, not MCQ.
Thank you, sir. Sir, in the initial, when you introduced the syllabus, you were talking about experiential and skill-based learning for the students. So, how are you going to bring experiential and skill-based learning in the proposed syllabus?
At the final level, I have already narrated that it will be problem solving, it will be case based. So what we want to do at the professional level is that you study the whole thing, but the kind of question should be asked, it should be completely practical and it should be problem solving. So problem will be given to you and you will be solving those problems sitting in the examination hall. So I think this is what the experiential learning, skill-based learning is there. As far as experience is concerned, it should be complemented by the EDP, Executive Development Program, and CLDP, Corporate Leadership Development Program. Next, we are going to revamp these two programs also, wherein we want to introduce more and more participation from the students rather than giving the lecture to the students. So revamp of the EDP and CLDP will be done in this particular exercise itself, this flow itself. And CLDP and EDP will also be becoming more practical, participation of the students into the group discussion, presentations, and in fact, yesterday itself I have given the suggestion to the academic department that in the EDP itself, before students go for the training, they should learn the art of drafting completely. They should learn the art of the representing themselves to the smaller authorities. They should have the good computer, say using applications. Then they should be having very good command on the Excel and Microsoft Word. This is also very essential because I remember my days, some of the students are not even aware how to run the computer. Now computer is okay, but as far as Excel and Word is concerned, even today, many of the professionals are not aware the short commands because it makes your work very fast. So short commands or using the keyboard in such a manner that you should be able to do the fast drafting. So Word and Excel application also we are going to teach the students in the EDP level itself. Another concern, another problem is coming with the company secretaries are PPT. Lot of professionals make PPT and everywhere PPT is required to be given. PowerPoint presentations are required to be given. But many of the company secretary don't know how to make the PPT, how to present the PPT. So powerful points to make the presentation. But PPTs are generally full loaded with the content. So we want to teach the students at ADP level, practical application, how to make the PPT, how to present the PPT. So these are the small examples, how revamping will be done for the EDP, how revamping will be done for the CLDP. Like in the CLDP, why only one moot court will be there? There should be 4 or 5 cases should be presented by each and every students. They should prepare themselves there. They should be drafting the pleadings and petitions and applications. They should be presenting properly the way it is being filed in the court, and they should be representing their case and proper argument should be done there. So this is also one of the exercise which CLDP should be taking care, corporate leadership development program. So it is since 30 days program. So all 30 days should be like this only. Participation and more participation of the students. So this is what we are going to do for the experiential learning.
Thank you, sir. Sir, there is a query from a student who is residing in one of the tier 2 and tier 3 cities. And the student says, especially students from tier 2 and tier 3 cities, communication skills are the challenges. So how are you going to address this, to improve communication skills, what are the ideas suggested?
In the EDP, what we are proposing that at least 3 days out of 30 days of the EDP, 3 days or 4 days should be dedicated specifically to the communication. And in fact, I will say that it will be a complete combo, EDP plus CLDP. And communication is not such that it is can be learned through the theory. It has to be practice also. So as I have told you in the CLDP that you should be presenting your case, you should be coming up for the good group discussion, you should be participating in the debate. So all three will be improving your communication only. But theories of the communication is also important, that what should be communicated, what should not be communicated. That aspect will be taken care in the EDP at the beginning. When you are going for the training, before training, EDP will take care of this. So in the EDP, at least 3 to 4 days, maybe 2 days online and 2 days offline. Online will be techniques we may narrate, and in offline physical program, those techniques which you have been given through the experts will be applied practically on you, and you may be practicing that for 2 or 3 days. So this communication part will be definitely taken care in EDP, and application part of the communication in the real life situation will be taken care of in the CLDP.
Thank you, sir. Sir, another student is telling the syllabus is quite impressive and also challenging. So, how do I plan my studies? I'm afraid, like, how do I plan my studies? Because there are many things which are introduced and which are challenging.
See, syllabus has to be challenging, exam has to be challenging. जो एक कहावत होती है हिंदी में कि सोना तपता है तभी खरा बनता है, तो ये एग्जाम और ये जो स्टडीज हैं वो आपको ना गोल्ड, रियल गोल्ड बनाने का प्रोसेस है, और इस प्रोसेस के दौरान जो जितना तपेगा वो उतना खरा सोना बन के निकलेगा. So this is what I want to convey, that exam has to be difficult, studies has to be difficult. You need to apply your mindset properly, plan your study in such a manner that say you should have grasping the command on everything. Take help of the say learning LMS portal of ICSI. You can go for the online teaching. You can go for the other say teachings also. Experts की help ले सकते हो आप. Self study कर सकते हो आप. But I think study and more study. Taking the reference of some other books, devoting more and more time on the study. Revision is the one of the most important thing. That what you studied yesterday should revise next day and then move for the next new topic. That is also one of the art we as a student practice to say understand the things more. So I think develop the understanding while studying, have the analytical mind rather than mugging up. That will solve all your problem and it will not look challenging. So I think I'll give the example of cricket match. When opposite team scores say 400 on the scoreboard and you are chasing 400 ka target, how you plan? You don't think that I have to chase the 400 runs. You plan every 5 over. That in this 5 over I want to every 5 over you plan, and then in this 5 over I want to achieve 75 runs. Another 5 over I want to achieve 75 runs. So similarly, you bifurcate and split your study in such a manner that small targets you set, achieve those targets, you will get the satisfaction and you will move forward. It will build the confidence in you yourself. You will believe in yourself and you will be able to achieve the ultimate target of 400 runs.
Sir, another query, it is a very general query. Again, it is up to the student, I feel. Which group of executive level I should go first?
That is up to the strength of the students. I will not say that which module you should choose first. That completely depend upon the individual choice and your strength. You need to identify your strength itself. And in fact, executive program, entire syllabus is on the principles, law, how to study the law, how to execute the law, implement the law. So it is basically law based and accounts based module group program. Be it jurisprudence, be it company law, be it say capital and security market, economic, commercial and law, tax law, setting up business, all are law based papers. So except paper number 3, corporate accounting and financial management, all are legal papers primarily. So I think study of the law in depth is very, very important, and now you should know how to study the law, how to interpret the law, and how to apply the law rather than mugging it up. Analysis is very important. Split the laws or even particular section into various parts and study accordingly. So it has to be challenging. It is challenging, and executive program, you can choose any of the module. It will not make much difference. It is your strength. It is your individual choice.
Thank you, sir. I think other questions are repeated questions from you only, which you have addressed already.
Okay. So This is what I wanted to convey through this particular webinar, and thought process of the council behind the syllabus, thought process of the academic committee, and special task force committee constituted for the purpose. Every stage has taken care of how to reduce the content, how to avoid the repetition, how to make it more strategic and problem solving. So that is what we have done. In the executive program, it is primarily law based papers, and in the professional program, primarily it is application based papers. We want to deliver to the corporate, we want to make them more and more, say, problem solving. So this exercise has been done. To conclude, I will say, and I'll request and appeal all of you that you please come forward, go through the entire report given by the academic committee and by the rolled over by the council. You after going through, do the analysis, what we have discussed today, keep that particular thing in mind. And even if you want to challenge any of the narrative or whatever principle we have followed, you are open to that. We are open to any kind of critical comment, any kind of suggestion. We are ready to take everything with the, say, open heart and accept it, discuss it, and thereafter deliberate it. Whether it will be accepted, your suggestion will be accepted or not accepted, it will depend upon the concerned committee or council. And but one thing I can promise, that everything will be deliberated, discussed, and concluded, and reason for the same will definitely be say recorded. So this is what we will do. All 4 stages are again pending. Once your suggestion will be received, we are doing the daily compilation. We have already received more than 2000 suggestions, primarily divided into 12 or 13 parts, because most of the suggestions are repetitive in nature. So all these 12-13 parts will be discussed, deliberated first in the academic committee, in the task force. First analysis will be done by the department, then it will go to the task force, then academic committee. After academic committee, it will go to the TEFC, and then finally council will approve and notify the syllabus. So this is what the process going to happen. Request all of you, please, it's a 5-year exercise, and we are going to make one of the document which is going to change or shape the future of the ICSI and its members. Request your suggestions, you request your cooperation, and request your, say, commitment of time for some point of time, so that we should be able to make it. Any suggestion on the CLDP or EDP will also be welcome, that how to make it more practical, how to make it, say, student delivery oriented rather than the, say, faculties coming and delivering the lectures. We want to discourage this particular part, that faculties coming and giving a lecture and sharing their knowledge. Of course, knowledge is always better and always, but that aspect can be taken care in the, say, other courses which is run by the ICSI, like certification courses, crash courses, and PMQ courses, and a lot of seminar and conferences done by the regional office and chapters. So those aspects will be taken care by the, say, in the seminars and conferences. Here we want to do the training rather than the conferences. So we don't want to do the conferences or a small study circle meetings in the, say, CLDP and EDP. With this, I will thank you all for joining and giving your valuable time and listening to what we wanted to propose. Looking forward for more and more suggestions. All suggestions are wholeheartedly welcome, and we will consider it, deliberate it, discuss it, and then conclude it, and will definitely make a good syllabus. With your support and guidance, we are going to make a best syllabus for the ICSI and its student. Thank you so much. Thank you.
I also request the stakeholders to fill the Google form and participate at large. The Google form, they can fill it till August 10th. So I request the stakeholders to fill the Google form to give their views. That will be of a great help for us. And I sincerely thank CS Ranjit Pandey, Chairman Academic Committee and past President, our President CS Devender Deshpande, our Vice President CS Manish Gupta, and our Secretary CS Ashish Mohan for this proposed syllabus. And I hope I'm sure the syllabus of ICSI will be coming out with bright colors and then suiting the expectations of industry and regulators and other stakeholders. Thank you so much.
Thank you.